This episode of the Golf Gambling Podcast from the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code GOLFSGPN to get a 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000. We're also brought to you by Edge Boost. Earn up to $750 a month on your sports gambling transactions. Go to edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm, the leader in data-driven picks and props. Get your 7-day free trial by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Looking for free daily picks in college basketball, NBA, college baseball, NHL, and more? Download the SGPN app free in the App Store. All right, we are live. Mexico Open, a bit of a break after the West Coast swing, after some Hawaii golf, after some Phoenix golf. It was a great West Coast swing. We bagged two winners. We bagged Sepp 70-1. We bagged Ludwig 20-1. And we're buzzing. We could not ask for a better start to the season. Almost had JJ Spawn at the Sony, but nonetheless, this is a DFS show, and we're here to talk about DFS. Sorry. So, Mexico Open, Vidanta World, a golf course we have seen over the last few years, a golf course that John Rahm has played well at, a golf course that Tony Finau has played well at, a golf course that Jake Knapp has played well at. Some guys that really bomb it off the tee. And looking into the golfers that do play well here, the stat profiles that rise to the top, it's a balanced build. Like there's some not necessarily plotters, but not necessarily bombers that rise to the top here. What I'm going to say is, yeah, you look at the stat profile and you see strokes gain approach, a heavy strokes gain approach in terms of success. But that is set up via great driving, great total driving, great driving distance. So I think the path to success this week is bomb it, send it as far as you can off the tee to set up great short iron shots. So let's get into it. I'm going to pull up the DFS board, and we're going to find some players that fit that build. Okay, Akshay Bhatia, Kurt Kitayama, Rasmus Højgaard are the names above $10,000. I'm going to say right now, my favorite golfer up here is Rasmus Højgaard. This is honestly a golf course that sets up for him so perfectly well. He has the ability to spike in every single category, and looking at the strokes gained statistic profile that you need to succeed here, Rasmus has that ability to spike across the board. Now, he also has the driving distance, which is massive here. He ranks well above average in terms of this field. He's going to bomb it off the tee, and he has that iron prowess. Kurt Kitayama gives you a great ball striking prowess, but I do not trust his putter to make a ton of putts on this golf course. He has played well here before. He's got a runner-up finish, but it's tough to ask for Kurt Kitayama to back up a runner-up finish at $10,000, 200. Akshay, yeah, he's the class of this field. He makes sense, but I will take $600 less on the trending Rasmus Højgaard and a golfer that I love on this golf course, and I love this season. So he's my pick up above 10K, Rasmus Højgaard. Going down to this 9K range, Sam Stevens, Steven Yeager, Patrick Rogers, Aaron Rai, Harry Hall, Michael Kim, Bo Hostler, and Taylor Moore. I think there's a clear distinction at the top of this range versus the bottom of this range. I really like Sam Stevens in every regard. Looking at his course history here, he missed the cut last year and nothing besides that. So why is he so highly priced? Because looking at his recent form, he's got a T31 of the Genesis, T44 in Phoenix, T17 at Pebble, and runner-up at the Farmers. What makes him the fourth highest priced golfer in this field? Doesn't have the course history, not in an amazing form. That's sharp pricing from DraftKings, because looking at Sam Stevens' golfer profile, look at Sam Stevens' overall game, he makes a ton of sense here. Sam Stevens is great off the tee. He's not really long, but he's long enough, and he has the ability to spike on approach, spike elsewhere. And on a golf course like this, in a field like this, you need that. So I think in terms of DraftKings, everyone's going to go down to either Patrick Rogers, a trending Michael Kim, who I could see having a bad week, or I think those two, or Steven Yeager. Yeager, Rogers, or Michael Kim are going to be the popular guys in the 9K range. And I think Stevens is going to get really overlooked, because the price isn't great and the course history is not great. That's sharp. That's sneaky. I really like Sam Stevens at $9,800 to be a shoo-in for a T8 finish. Truthfully, I think Stevens is going to play well this week. I was speaking to people in his camp, his caddy, and they are hyped up for this week. They know that they could contend on this golf course. Now, looking at the rest of this 9K range, I mentioned Steven Yeager, I mentioned Patrick Rogers, I mentioned Michael Kim. Michael Kim is by far my least favorite guy in this field. I mean, in this range out of those three. My favorite out of those three would be Steven Yeager. Yeager's got a T3 here last year, T18 and T15. Patrick Rogers also has some really good course history. Rogers fits that driver putter profile, but I fail to see Rogers going T3 and then another T6 finish. I think he'll have when Rogers gets somewhat chalky, somewhat makes sense. It's not. I'm not going to do it. Yeager, I bet last week finished T44, played fine, made a ton of eagles, and this is a golf course that he should be very enticed to go to. He gained 2.8 on the stroke, had 2.8 on approach, had one of his best ball striking weeks in a while. He simply just putt pretty poorly. Steven Yeager lost 6.8 strokes putting. I want to see where that ranks in terms of it's the third worst putting week of his career. Now, Steven Yeager is not a great putter. He's not a guy who gains 3 strokes putting every week, but he's come in gaining 3 strokes putting. Gaining strokes putting in 3 straight, and he's putt well in this event before. So in great ball striking form, knows these greens. I really expect Yeager to bounce back and have a great week. So I like him in all markets. I think Yeager is in for a nice show in Mexico. So Yeager is probably my second favorite guy in this 9K range. Now, Aaron Rai, Harry Hall, Michael Kim, I mentioned I don't like. Beau Hossler. I could see Beau Hossler having a decent round, like one of the 4 rounds. He goes really low, but I don't know how much I like him. Harry Hall is a guy who's struggling with the ball striking for the first time in a while, so I think we're going to give him a pass as well. I'd put all my eggs in the Stevens and Yeager basket. I mean, Rasmus Højgaard, Sam Stevens, and Steven Yeager, they're all within $500 of each other, between 9.6 and 10.1, but I love them so much in terms of everyone in the 10 and 9K range. If I have to go to someone at the bottom of the 9K range, would it be Taylor Moore? Would it be Taylor Moore? As he's the only one left. He's striping off the tee, T10 at T9 in Scottsdale. The approach play is pretty poor, and the approach play I just can't trust, and he's not necessarily long enough for me to be like, all right, he's going to hit fairways, and then I just trust the approach play. I honestly don't love it. I just love so much Rasmus Højgaard, Sam Stevens, and Steven Yeager in this range. I would go maybe 2 of those guys and then go towards the 8K range. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to pull the screen down and go towards the 8K range. So the 8K range, we have Ben Griffin, Kevin Yu, Alex Smalley, Jake Knapp, Justin Lauer, Nicholas Norgard Muller, CT Pan, Thorbjorn Olsen, Nikolai Højgaard, and Grayson Sigg. Oh, and Ryan Fox. There's a few names in this range that really, really catch my eye. Ben Griffin, he's a little bit expensive, and this isn't exactly Bermuda, but he does play well on resort courses. Kevin Yu is catching some buzz. I'm not exactly sure why that's the case, because when Kevin Yu's at his best, he's in an otherworldly ball striker. He's hit it well in the last 2 starts, T17 and T16, but nothing crazy. I really do not trust his putter at all. Alex Smalley, he's in a generational run of ball striking right now. I think he keeps that up. I think his floor is safe. I think his floor is T20. Jake Knapp, I'm definitely out on. When Jake Knapp has any pressure, it goes poorly usually. We saw that last round last year. He should have lost that event. He hit the ball so poorly. And now this year he's going in a defending champ. He's got the eyes on him. He knows that he needs to play well, and I don't exactly like that. Jake Knapp at $8,600. He's been floating the min price 500 to 1. Now he's $8,600 just because he won last year, and he's not necessarily playing great golf. Out on Jake Knapp for sure. Justin Lauer is a guy I love on big birdie fest courses, and that's what we're getting here. He's gained strokes on approach in 4 straight starts. Think back to the fall. He finished T2 in Mexico, then T5 on a resort course. These are the golf courses that you play Justin Lauer on. I love him in all markets this week. Down to Nicholas Norgard Muller. You can't get a better golf course for him, but he's gaining some traction, and I don't like that. Nicholas Norgard Muller is going to be 16%, and he's a very volatile golfer. I like him when he's going under the radar. I bet him at Torrey Pines and played him at Torrey Pines, and he missed the cut after starting great. I hope that he is trendy this week and has another poor week, because there's a few courses down the road that make sense for him. He's not going to be in the Bay Hill field, but Nick Norgard Muller at Bay Hill would be beautiful. So I'm probably out on him. Like I said, I like Justin Lauer. I like Alex Smalley. Then down to Thorbjorn Olesen and Nikolai Højgaard, Ryan Fox. Those 3 Europeans make sense here. I would rank them Nikolai, Ryan Fox, Thorbjorn Olesen. Nikolai's playing a little bit better. He's not quite there yet, but he's striping the ball on approach. He's getting an approach in now 5 straight starts, make that 6 of his last 8. And the off the tee is hit or miss. He had a poor driving week in Scottsdale, but we know Nikolai is long off the tee. Nikolai, remember last year, Nikolai was like 16-1, 18-1 in this event, and he didn't almost win, but he was a favorite. Now his brother's at the top. And I'm not sure how much of my content you listen to, but there's not a moment where Nikolai and Rasmus play good golf at the same time. If Rasmus is coming back down to earth, like he finished dead last week, it's time for Nikolai to come back up. So Nikolai at what's his price? 8-1. I'm in. I'm all the way in. Ryan Fox, he's going to be sub 10% most likely. All or nothing golfer. He's going to send it off the tee like his life depends on it, and then he can make a ton of birdies. So I definitely like Ryan Fox, Nikolai Horgaard, Justin Lauer, Alex Smalley in this 8K range. Okay, let's get down to the 7K range. Before we get down to the 7K range, bear with me for just a second. Got to talk about Edge Boost. SGPN has partnered up with Edge Boost, the premier Visa debit card for bettors. An Edge Boost card allows you to avoid the hassle of having to deposit and get your card denied at the sportsbook, DFS site, sweepstakes site, or racetrack. You can earn up to $750 a month in cashback rewards using your Edge Boost card, and you know your money is safe as the card is FDIC insured. The best part is there's no credit check, and it's completely free. Sign up today using the promo code SGPN to get better reward status and instant tier 2. Okay, that's edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN, edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. MyBookie, we're brought to you by mybookie.ag, is your place to bet on every sport, props for every game, plus a casino. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of locations, easy to deposit, lightning fast payouts using crypto. Head to mybookie.ag, use promo code GOLFSGPN for 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Promo code GOLFSGPN for a deposit match up to $1,000 plus a $10 casino chip. MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN. And finally, Underdog Fantasy, NBA, NHL, college hoops, whatever your sport is, bet with Underdog Fantasy Pick'em. So sign up with code GOLFSGPN to claim your special pick plus first-time deposit offer up to $1,000. Underdog Fantasy, promo code GOLFSGPN. Okay, 7K range. We have to find some names in the 7K range if we want to go so high at the top. So let's talk about the 7K range. We'll split this into 2. Matt Wallace down to Chan Kim. So we'll do the top of the 7K range and the bottom of the 7K range. A golfer that immediately catches my eye is Eric Van Rooyen, around $7,500. Not around. I mean, he is $7,500. So Eric Van Rooyen, when he gets cheap in weak fields, is a hammer no matter what. It does not matter what his form is. It doesn't matter what he's doing. If his form is good, he becomes like $9,900 in weak fields, and then he doesn't have that floor or of consistency to match that. He has the ceiling to win. He won in Mexico before, and now he's priced among guys who are doing nothing. Eric Van Rooyen loves the birdie fest. Eric Van Rooyen loves these conditions. Eric Van Rooyen knows how to win at these prices. So I'm all the way in on EVR at $7,500 no matter what his incoming form is. Towards the top of the 7K range, Mac Meisner is pretty well balanced. Patrick Fishburne is going to be really, really chalky. Andrew Putnam is one of the few golfers who I think can make some hay around here without actually bombing it. I like him in DFS. He's going to lose strokes off the tee because of his distance, but his approach play right now is so, so good. He's having some of the best approach performances of his career, and we know he can get really hot on the green. So I like Andrew Putnam a lot at $7,800. Michael Thorbjornsen is a golfer who I bet in Phoenix, played in Phoenix, and he is a modern golfer. He's going to bomb it off the tee. He's got a ton of top 10s on, not a ton, but a few top 10s on tour before. So I like Michael Thorbjornsen to really send it off the tee and then make birdies from there. Carson Young at the same price finished T8 last year. He almost won in Mexico, T2. So he's got top 10s in Mexico before, T15 2 years ago here. He might be a Mexico merchant. Truthfully, Carson Young might be a Mexico merchant. I think I could be down on him for $7,700, but I think I like Thorbjornsen a little bit more. So my guys in this range would be EVR, Michael Thorbjornsen, and Andrew Putnam. I want to look at Adam Svensson for a second. He's $7,500, but we know he can win on these style of golf courses. He's in some great approach form. Like he's hitting his irons so well. The driver is hit or miss, but Adam Svensson, like you get him like 100 to 1, you get him like $7,500. We know his ceiling. We know he has a winning ceiling. So I'm down for Adam Spencer too. Bottom of the 7K range. Any golfers that I want to take a look at? Aldrich Potgieter is going to be Giga Chalk, and a Giga Chalk unproven golfer never goes well. If you want golfers who have the exact same build as Aldrich Potgieter, who are going to be far less owned and have the exact same ceiling. Chris Gotterup, $7,200. Alejandro Tosti, $7,100. Did I say Chris Ventura, $7,300? Those three guys. I was about to say Trey Mullinax. I almost said Trey Mullinax, $7,100. Now, he hasn't played too much golf over the last year, but he finished T32 at the Waste Management, gained 2.4 strokes off the tee, and putt really well. He's a guy, he came back from the Korn Ferry Tour, came back from injury. He's won before on tour, gained over 6 strokes ball striking this event last year. There's not much to not like. Now, Trey Mullinax is not a safe player, but at $7,100, you're willing to take a risk and you're willing to get a high ceiling. So similar, like I wouldn't go to Potgieter. I would go to golfers like Mullinax, Gotterup, Ventura, Toasty. Toasty has all the ceiling in the world. His form doesn't matter at all. Bombs off the tee. He can get so hot. Finished T10 here 2 years ago. I love Toasty. Okay. And then towards the bottom, Rico Hoy. Rico Hoy is a sender off the tee and can make birdies in bunches. This is a good golf course for Rico Hoy. Down for them. So that's the bottom of the 7K range. Let's get into the 6K range before we get out of here. So let me put my screen down. I probably should have done that before. So 6K range, we have Max McGreevy, Bermuda specialist, assistant Bermuda. Ben Coles, he's always too cheap. He's just sends it off the tee, and he's such a good ball striker. But the iron play has been bad. I do really like Hayden Springer. Hayden Springer at $6,800, a golfer who absolute bomber off the tee. Finished T6 at Torrey Pines a few weeks ago. If that's telling you anything, he gained over almost 6 strokes ball striking in this event last year. Hayden Springer is a lock in my lineups for sure. Down towards Sammy Valimaki, almost won here last year. Shout out Sammy Valimaki. Towards the middle of this what is it called? 6K range. There's not anyone that I want to love because I'm pretty concise and exact with my 6K guys. I want to dive in on a few. I wouldn't mind Braden Thornberry or Trevor Cohn. Braden Thornberry has not had the greatest start to his PGA Tour career or PGA Tour season, but he's a golfer who is a stud growing up. He played really well in the Korn Ferry Tour last season, and these are some easy conditions. So I wouldn't be shocked if Braden Thornberry has one of his better weeks in Mexico, make his first cut on the PGA Tour season. And then towards the bottom, Fred Biondi. He is a young stud, went to Florida from Brazil, and he knows how to play in these conditions. He's played a ton of golf in Latin America in these countries. So I'm down for Fred Biondi at $6,100. And finally, Cristobal del Solar, a golfer who bombs it off the tee, finished T48 last year. I think he was the first round leader last year, and it was a Korn Ferry Tour easy scoring merchant, which is what you need to do well here. So that's the DFS preview. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm finally back home after my 2-week bender in the Mexico Open, the Scottsdale and the Torrey Pines. So we're back. Florida Swings next. Excited for the Mexico Open, though. Any questions, you know where to find me. Tune into the betting show tomorrow with Dom. Drop a comment, drop a follow. Please help me continue to help you guys and be great. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. And peace out. Thank you.